It's a teaser. You know, I'm a lover of Tom Hardy's acting and everything like that. The one thing that is very true about Tom Hardy in terms of his profession is when he's just acting a role, he is good.
Yeah.
But when he is fully involved with the project as well as the character, he gives that much more tenfold. And that's the thing with Venom. Venom, he's not just playing Eddie Brock. Like, he's got a hand in this movie. He's got a lot to do with this movie behind the scenes. And that's why I actually have faith in this, too, and everything like that. You know, we don't know the villain or anything like that. Obviously, Carnage is probably going to be the villain. But, like, what really irritated us was just, like, the...
lack of common sense.
Lack of common sense. Also, the entitlement that was coming out of people's mouths. Like, they just, it's not for you to decide. And also, they just wrapped this, like, literally, like, a week or two ago.
Exactly. Let's just break this down for a minute, okay?
Okay, go. Right. She's already lit a cigarette, too.
Everybody knows. Everybody, because it's been all over news outlets and such. The movie literally just wrapped. We also know that Venom is going to be CG, okay? Do you know how much time it takes to actually CG something and render it and do anything possible technology-wise to make it look realistic? Therefore, you will not have that yet, okay? Number 2, there's a very specific word in this called teaser. Trailer. Teaser. You are not going to get everything in a teaser. It's meant to whet your appetite to want to see more. And maybe this teaser trailer wasn't enough to make you want to know more, but they're not going to give it all to you in one big shot. This is full foreplay, all right? This is what you do before you have the sex, okay? Maybe that's why a lot of people didn't know what to expect out of that. Maybe they just don't know what foreplay is anymore. Tinder's ruined foreplay. I don't know.
I am the king of foreplay.
But at the end of the day, again, they're not going to give it all to you in one fucking shot. They never do. And the fact that everyone felt the need for Venom to be seen just goes to show, 1, you're entitled as fuck, and 2, you only want to see it so you can shit on it. Because that's all you're going to do when it comes out anyway. Because
also, like, I've been following this one for a while, too, as closely as I followed Deadpool coming out. They said this is not going to be your typical superhero movie, because it's not really... this is a dark... They're making a dark thriller. This is going to be a very dark... They're following one of the standalone stories. It's supposed to be really dark and everything like that. It is kind of a thriller and everything. Even when we see the actual movie, I'm sure we're probably not going to see Venom for quite some time.
Oh, no.
You're not going to see it for quite some time. And again, Brad and I went back and forth about this in a positive way. We were in agreement. Because he brought it out, and I totally agree with him on this. I was a little bit bummed out when they were like, Venom is going to be completely CG. And that's a little disheartening because, you do kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
But, given what it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be this living entity, it's supposed to be this thing, it really wouldn't work. It would look kind of hokey, and I was kind of picturing in my head what it looked like in Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
It looked rubbery, it looked ugly, and I was fearing, God, that could be what Venom winds up looking like if they went that route. So, it is good that they've gone the CG route in that aspect. Mm-hmm. And then given the way CG looks now and everything like that, and if they've got the right CG company behind it, it could look amazing.
I mean, look at Thanos!
I think that's the thing. Like, that was the other thing Brad said, too. Like, Thanos, CG-wise, looks spectacular. It looks great. That wouldn't have worked with prosthetics and everything like that. It wouldn't work. And this is coming from two people that, love the traditional work and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But certain things it works, certain things it doesn't. Star Wars, we always complained about too much CG because Star Wars was based, birthed, and grounded in practical effects.
Yeah.
So you're used to that, and it still looks good. But then there's certain things like a Thanos or like an upcoming Venom, it won't look right.
Nope.
If you do it with practical effects, it's just not going to look correct at all.
Nope.
And let's take cosplay for instance. We've seen some really good, as of recent, the last 2 years. There's a really good Thanos cosplayer out there, and he looks amazing. Mm-hmm. But it wouldn't work on a big screen.
No,
it looks cool to look at it as a cosplay.
Yeah.
But to see it mechanically work for a movie, it would never work.
Nope.
We've seen on TV and even at New York Comic Con some great Venoms. Mm-hmm. Really good Venoms. But a practical effect, if you want to put it in a movie, is not going to work.
Nope.
It will never work.
Nope.
And everything like that. And now to put the grander scope on all this, like how I kind of put the punchline on this to entitled fanboys and everything like that. And I am the fanboy of fanboys. I don't seem like it, but Miss Foxy will tell you, I am the fanboy of fanboys.
Yeah.
And everything like that. And I can get critical, but I have common sense with it as well, though. Mm-hmm. I get critical when there's a reason. But our 7-year-old, Jace, as you know, is the dark child. Loves Five Nights at Freddy's. He loves Freddy Krueger and Jason, and he loves all the dark stuff. So, of course, one of his favorites is Venom. He loves Venom. Mm-hmm. He watched the trailer. Now, when you're 7 years old, all you care about is the actual fucking character.
Yeah.
And everything like that, which did not get shown in this trailer. Jay sat right here. I played that near 2-minute trailer, and he sat there like this. And then when the trailer ended, Jace looked right at me and went, "Oh my god, I can't wait for October. I can't wait to see this movie. Oh my god, I want to see Venom." Like, he was flipping out.
Yeah.
7-year-old old. Didn't even show the character.
Yep.
All he saw was a little symbiote, but then and that was like, what, 2 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't even talk about the symbiote part. He was just like, "Oh my god, I need to see this." He's like, "I can't wait for October." He's like, going crazy. And he's like, "I want to be Venom for Halloween." Mm-hmm. He's like, and not just the regular mask. I want the full mask with the top. He wants like the big ugly one and everything. Like, he wants the full blown thing.
Yep.
And now, as adorable as it sounds, because it's a 7-year-old going nuts for it, the point is a 7-year-old that did not even see the character he loves in it.
Mm-hmm. He got it.
He got it and got excited for this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's 7.
Yep.
Like, fanboys, chill the fuck out. Like, seriously, fanboys, your entitled attitude, I have to say, just...
Between this and the whole Star Wars thing that happened where they made that stupid petition to take it off of canon, I'm so sorry to say this, but when the fuck did all of us nerds become the same exact people that picked on us?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
When the fuck did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, between this and Star Wars and, you know, hardcore trolling people on social media to the point where they don't want social media and getting mad that your show didn't do what you wanted it to and hating cosplayers because they're famous and, like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, I know we do a nerd podcast and everything, but calling a spade here, looking at the way our show used to be years ago when we started to what nerd culture has become now, it's infuriating.
Yeah, it gets hard to be an old school nerd.
Yeah.
Like, the people watching this around our generation, this is, I think we're the last of the classical nerd, where we could we could debate with good grounding or like that. We could get into heated discussions about it, but there was never an entitlement.
Yeah.
There was never an entitlement. It was never ours. It was to personally own or decide, no, you can't do this. It's like there's a petition going around now to make the Joker gay.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not so much, again, I don't care if they do, if DC's decided to do it, I don't care.
It's their choice. Yeah.
It's their choice. But the bottom line is that the fact that some people are out there writing a petition to force DC to do it. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, really? Who the fuck are you?
You want to do it, then you start writing and write well enough to get a job at DC and then pitch it.
See, it sucks for me because it's like the one thing, like Noda really does this every now and again. People always tell him, oh, Noda really, make this fan film. Noda really, make this fan film. Noda really, make this. And Chris has the same response every time. And he goes, okay, give me the money and I'll make it. Like, give me the fucking money. He says, give me the money and I'll make anything you want anytime.
Yeah.
He says, give me the money to make it. It's like, you guys act like, a lot of people act like it's just easy to do these things. Whether, or whatever the case may be, or it's just like, like DC's at your whim and Marvel's at your whim and, all these creators are at your whim. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Nope.
It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And like I said, like if you listen to our shows and how we talked about nerds and nerd culture and pop culture back then, and you listen to our show now, it's like, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a part of this community anymore sometimes.
Oh my god, this is actually funny. So Danielle just logged on. What did I miss? I just came home from a little bit ago. Danny, happy Rusev Day. I feel like I missed something. And Brad Ryder, a couple of Foxy rants right now on Venom feedback. And then Danielle, oh boy, I missed a good Foxy rant. Damn, me for playing with a friend. Playing with a friend, yeah. I just I twisted that all around my knot.
Yeah, you did.
She was playing with a friend.
Uno!
Yeah. Could have been Dose. Maybe Trace. Pick 4. Maybe with the David that heard Uno and Dirty.
Reverse.
Reverse. Draw 2.
Wild card.
Anyway. Alright. And in the last bit of news, Friday news, okay. This is going to turn into another rant as well. And this is a wrestling rant that Miss Foxy gets to do. Alright, so pretty much, the whole Ronda Rousey thing and everything like that. But the news just came out by yesterday and today that Rousey's pretty much been brought in to help use her status to elevate Stephanie McMahon. Now, everybody's like, all the wrestling fans are like, oh my god, her ego, da-da-da. Okay, yes, she does have an ego. Ain't no question about that. She's a McMahon. But, you have to, which falls into what I was saying earlier before about Vince kind of letting that line out and Triple H starting to get a little more control of the shows. Now, you have to look at the way the hierarchy of things and who does what. Mm-hmm. Triple H is best known for the talent and the stories and the creation. He was an indie worker all the way up to one of the greatest of all time. His psychology is second to none. He's he's going to go down as one of the greatest workers of all time. Period. Whether you choose to agree or not is one thing, but he's going to go down as one of the greatest of all times. One of the best professional minds and everything like that. I mean, look what he's doing with NXT and all these people. Alright. But again, that's only one aspect of it. That is the aspect of developing what goes in front of the camera. Now, Stephanie, in front of the camera, is not the greatest thing to watch, as we know. But what she is, though, behind the scenes, is she is the business, she is the brains of this. Now, people are bitching and moaning about her getting this star power. The star power for Stephanie is not so much for the on-camera portion of it. The star power is to build her credibility and figurative muscle in a boardroom, in business meetings, in the corporate world, developing her status. If you say Vince McMahon to a regular person who's not even a wrestling fan, they know who Vince McMahon is.
He's a celebrity in his own right.
They know who Vince McMahon is. Austin became a big star because of his thing with Mike Tyson, because it was covered by all news media outlets. Yeah. So Austin became a megastar. Vince goes into his feud with Austin, which now made Vince a megastar, because now Austin was a megastar in the public's eyes. So people now know Vince is the boss, because people behind the scenes knew Vince was the boss, but it wasn't until the Mr. McMahon character came about that people were like, oh man, he really is the boss. Yeah. But a lot of people didn't know he was the guy. Like, they just thought he was a commentator. Yeah. They didn't realize, no, this is the guy that runs it. He's the one that owns all this shit. So now they're hoping to do the same thing in a sense with Stephanie, but not, again, it's not so much for her on-screen character, because everybody hates that. It's to give her that power behind the scenes. She handles all their business aspects.